caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the Caltrop. I'm your host, Michael Calderese. Welcome everybody on this. It's a truly tremendous Wednesday for me, even though I know the government's shutting down, and I know doom and gloom, and I know everything's going crazy out there. And the media, if you just listen to them, everything's going to be terrible. I'm here to tell everybody that everything's not going to be terrible. Everything's going to be all right. Your lives are going to be okay. Even those of you guys that work in the government, you're going to come through this. This is not life and death. But one of the reasons why it is wonderful to me, and we're going to get into this in more in depth, stay tuned for this because I have to put it together. We actually might do this in a series and have a bunch of things. As many of you guys have known, and everybody has followed me here, the saga of Two Mics Live has followed me. And it's followed me due to a pussy co-host that has decided to try to get me in court twice for harassment because this lying little thief piece of shit, and I'm going to say all that now because you know what? The judge said that this is a medium that I could say this stuff, so fuck you. This little piece of shit took me to court twice, and he got defeated twice. He is now 0 for 2. 0 for 2 against Calderese. I told you, you little piece of shit, I am better than you in every single way. You can't touch me, including life. I'm just better overall. But he tried doing this to me. So again, we had court, and I'm going to show you. Hold on, where is it? Let's see. You want to see a picture? Let's see if it's up there. This is me in court, staring at the judge on Tuesday. Of course, this was in the middle of my day, 1 o'clock. This has cost me, I don't know, 2.5 days worth of work going to court. I'd say 2 days. This is like $2,000 worth of work that this has cost me on top of the other show, which is, that's not even a thing that lost me. I just, it's funny because this was that popped up. Hey, we have a virtual hearing and a court date in Wall Municipal Township. But the best part about this entire thing is it's all part of the Freedom of Information Act. So I have the first court hearing for the, he tried getting me for a restraining order, first off, and I destroyed them in court. And that's all on audio. I'm going to put those clips together. We're going to be able to listen to them. And then I had the court hearing yesterday with me, Jersey Abe, one of our listeners, and Coach Patterson, one of our great contributors and one of our listeners, one of my good friends. Both of them are really good friends of mine. All three of us were in court, and everything got dismissed. And the judge actually apologized to us. This is how ridiculous it was because the judge made the mistake. We should have never been there to begin with, but they made a series of mistakes. But we're going to talk about that. Stay tuned on Friday. But we have a great show for you guys, honestly, today. There is a lot going on. We have the shutdown looming. We have Hegseth went off on some generals. I have Alex the Jarl Martinez here. He is our, I believe he's a Marine, right? Put you not in the head in the background, Jarl. Yes, not yet. He is 100% a Marine. He's going to give his take on all this. I loved what I heard. We have a lot of controversy that is surrounding that on some of the things that he said, but I absolutely love everything that this man said. again, we had the shutdown. We're going to get into that in depth. Whose fault is it? Everybody's trying to pass the blame. The blame game is on thick on both sides. Some of you guys who listen to me on Facebook know some of my thoughts on this, but I'm going to give you my both sides because I've been hammering the Republicans pretty good. But I do believe the left has a lot of culpability here. I mean, a lot of culpability here. So we're going to get in on both sides of it. It's going to be part of the Mike's Right, and it's also going to be discussed throughout the show. And there's a lot, and I want to go through the arguments on both sides of it, and I want to discuss what's true and what's fake, because you have a lot of bullshit on both sides, and there's pieces of truth on both sides. And the way this is being spun, you know what I do, guys? I am the one that's going to tell you the real truth from both sides of this, so you can parse the bullshit, because I'm telling you, it's coming on thick, and it's coming on thick from both sides, including Mike Johnson, who you guys know that I've never liked. So without further ado, let's get the show started with the Mike's Right. This one, shut the fuck up and listen. Well, once again, here we go again, folks. Government shutdown 2025 style. Cue the panic music. CNN is acting like it's the apocalypse is here. Fox is acting like we just stormed the beaches of Normandy again. And of course, TikTok is still busy teaching your 13-year-olds how to twerk to Baby Shark. But whose fault is this shutdown? That's the big question everyone's asking me. Well, if you're on the right, it's obviously the left's fault. Why? Because Democrats want to give free health care to illegals. Because apparently, Jose from Tijuana needs a root canal more than your grandma who's been on hold for Medicare since the Clinton administration. If you're on the left, well, it's definitely the right's fault, because the Republicans are evil and blocking their grand plan to save American health care, one illegal at a time. Yeah, it's the same plan that somehow expires faster than a gallon of milk that was left out in the sun, but we're going to get to that. So who's right? Both are, which means both are honestly wrong, because this isn't about healthcare, people. This isn't about spending. This is about the fact that for decades now, these clowns have been playing bipolar, opposite politics. One party says up, the other party says down. One says black, the other says white. You're racist. They couldn't agree on what color the American flag was. If you spotted them, the red, white, and blue. But let's look at the actual receipts. The left claims the Republicans, don't want to renew the ACA tax credits. Well, the left could have made the ACA tax credits last longer than 3 or 4 years, but nah, they slapped an expiration date on it like it was a coupon for Bed Bath & Beyond. Why? Because they wanted to use it as a bargaining chip later. Oh no, the tax credits are expiring. Quick, shut the government down so we can blame the evil Republicans. Congratulations, Democrats. You've turned healthcare into a Black Friday sale at Walmart. And the right? Oh, don't worry. You're not off the hook either. You hated these bills under Biden. Hated them. Called them the leftist lunatic bills that would destroy the country. Remember that? But now all of a sudden, oh, you're bragging about supporting the same exact garbage that they put forward then, that you opposed because Trump's in office. So let me get this straight. When Biden did it, it was lunacy, fueled on Hunter's crack. But when Trump does it, it's a Wednesday? Got it. I remember the days when Mike Johnson came in and promised no more CRs. That's after they removed McCarthy for working with the Democrats on CRs. Remember that? Well, here we are with, drum roll please, another CR, his 6th. Shocker. It's like a bad sequel at this point. CR, Part 6, the Congressional Awakening. And now it's the same people who removed McCarthy on the right. Those politicians are now blaming the Democrats, begging them to work with them. It's absolute hypocrisy level infinity. And I'll say where my focus really is. It's you, the voters, the regular people. You're the best part of this circus, because you, along with them, screamed bloody murder about these bills when Biden was signing them or auto-penning them. But now you're justifying them because your team is in charge? You're like the sports fan who will swear the ref made a bad call unless it's their team benefiting. Then suddenly, when it's your guy, the ref's a genius. That was a great call. How could you not see that on replay? And that there is the problem, isn't it? The politicians don't get better because you don't demand better. Do you want strong leadership, or do you just want your side to win the blame game? Well, congratulations, you're winning. Me personally, I want two strong parties, especially the Republican Party. But it doesn't get any better by making excuses for their garbage year after year, blaming others for the situation that they created, or give cover to the party who holds all the power right now. I guess the buck doesn't stop at Trump, huh? It stops with illegals. And 9 months into Trump 2.0, guess what we have? And we're still living under Biden's policies. You may not like hearing that, but that's their words. You'll hear soon their words. They said things would be different. And by different, apparently they mean exactly the same. So while the left points at the right and the right points at the left, I'll point at all of them and you. Because the truth is, it's both sides and all of us. It's always both sides. And the sooner you voters stop making excuses for your crappy leaders, the sooner we might actually fix this mess. But let's be honest, you won't, because you love the game. You love the finger pointing, the hashtags, the tribal war paint. You're addicted to the political drama, and they know it. That's why we'll keep playing shutdown bingo every couple of years until the lights go out for real. So, hey, enjoy the show. Government's closed. The clowns are still running the circus. And America is stuck in the world's longest episode of Whose Fault Is It Anyway? Where the points don't matter, and neither does your health care. Unless you're illegal, then everything is about you. If we want to point a finger at anyone, point it at yourself and realize you're part of the problem. If we didn't turn into political cheerleaders with every situation, then we wouldn't have the customers buying the left-wing, right-wing trash. Stop doing it. And then vote better. Maybe, just maybe, we could get what we actually deserve. I don't know. That's the Mike's Right. Hope you listen.
Caltrop. It's an area denial weapon.
Sorry, wrong one. I need myself. Here we go. Listen, I'm all blurry now. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this mess we have. There we go. All blurry. My chair keeps on. I need a new one. My chair goes from here, and I just feel myself sinking. Next thing I know, the microphone's over my head and shit. Oh, my Lord. What are we going to do? I hope you listen to that one, guys. Listen, because you know what? I do catch a lot of crap when I post things on Facebook or when I post things on socials. I catch a lot of crap from people. And the crazy part that I think is interesting is that I'm trying to give you the reality of what the situation is. I'm trying to give you the truth. And the truth is, when I say the right's a problem, they are a problem in this. We cannot excuse their culpability in shutting down the government. Now, people can make all the excuses after the fact that they want to say, oh, it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a bad thing. We could really cut more things now than we could with it open. That make sense. We could justify this however we want and just say it. Yeah, we're shutting it down. So we could do all the things that we want to do when we couldn't do it open. Just tell me the God's honest truth, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. Let's check out the chat. Who is the first one in the chat? Let's go. I'm gonna take a guess and say it's Yankee 68. And it's not. It is Jay Calda. Jay Calda wins the race today. Thank you, Jay Calda. You win a fresh cup of Your Government Is Screwing You. I appreciate it. Jay Calda says, I'm watching the Yankees Red Sox, wondering how Boone is going to screw this game up. Okay, let's do this right now because I know the Yara wants to get in on that comment. Let me bring into the main stage like he is a fresh stripper at the hottest club in Miami. Alex the Yarl Martinez. He is the COO of Bearded Viking Meat, if I remember correctly, and he is also one of the hosts of one of my favorite shows on the planet, Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys, every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, my man. And you're also one hell of a model American. Did I nail that or what?
Thank you. I think so. I think you did the Caltrop drop once again.
Once again, that's how you drop it.
That's how you drop it.
Drop it like a Caltrop. Drop it like a Caltrop. Drop
Don't
it.
you? Just keep your shoulders bouncing.
So
What's
what do you
up,
think
dude?
about the Yankees versus Red Sox yesterday, dude? Let's start there before we even get into my my monologue, because Jay Calder brought it up, dude. I'm going to tell you something. I don't understand why. Maybe you could tell me why the fuck do you take Max Fried out, who is dominating this game at 102 pitches when he has he has nobody on base. It's 6 1/3 innings. He has 2 more outs to go. Why not let him go? And why give up that game? Why do you overthink it all the time?
Well, because it's Aaron Boone. The only thing he's good at is getting tossed out of games. He's coming up on Bobby Cox's record, so he's got to get it before he gets fired.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so. I mean, it was a pitcher's duel all night.
All night.
And I mean, what was it? He ended up with 11 Ks, right?
Yeah, but he went into the 8th inning, and they let him go. They let him battle. They didn't just
over
run at 100 pitches and say, no, you got to go right now, and we got to go to our bullpen, who are worse pitchers than Max Fried.
Yeah, that bullpen for the Yankees is about as soft as the people trying to fight ice in Seattle.
Oh, dude, softer than baby shit. It's mashed potatoes.
It's bad.
They're hot one minute. They're way too streaky. You know what? I'm sorry to say this, everybody, but I could watch the Yankees in the beginning of the year and know if they have a legit chance of winning a World Series. And I looked at this team again in the beginning, and I said 93 wins, and they're out first round of the playoffs. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope they could figure it out. Aaron Judge, great for him. He started off with a hit. He really needed that, so they need to get a win tonight so he get further into the playoffs. I would love to see him get hot for his career. He's been too good in the postseason not to have a good, or not in the regular season.
I was gonna say he's never showed up in the postseason.
Never.
He's never gonna be Mr. October.
But listen, if he always starts off with those strikeouts, and he started off with 2 hits. So that's a big difference in what we've seen in the years past. So hopefully he could meet exercise all those demons. But let's get to everybody else ready. Yankee 68, number 2 in the chat. PT Pod, my man, PT Pod. We have a fucking show last night before your show. That's why I was up to watch you guys, man. So we do. That's power sports time. It's all ESPN, the Ocho type. We were watching lawnmower racing on ice and just the things that the sport mayonnaise eating. You don't think mayonnaise eating was as into it, but you were. What was it? Cherry pit spitting contest. How far do you think the world record cherry pit spit is?
Is it just on the land, or is it after the roll?
You actually have to keep your feet together, right? The way these guys were doing it, feet together, and you kind of push your hips out, and your chest comes out, and you're able to do the whoa like that.
Yeah, I know, but do they measure it off the landing, or is it,
off? It's a straight runway. You won't believe how many people were there in attendance of this thing. It was amazing. They had to have 250 in attendance for this. But what do you think the furthest a person's ever spit a cherry pit is?
I'm gonna say like 50 feet, because I think there's a lot of people with some hot air in them.
You were very close to it. It is actually 90 feet.
Oh God,
90
way off. That was
feet.
way off.
I thought like 15. I thought 15. If you could spit a cherry pit 15 feet, you're like a boss, bro. But these guys are going 90. It's absolutely unbelievable. But check that show out. That's actually right before the Jarl show at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. They go on at 10:00 Eastern Standard Time. We have at Jersey, Abe 69. It's Johnny 69. Let's fucking go. It's Johnny's been hanging out with us. A. Caldery says the Yankees are cooked. Hey, guys, do me a favor and keep me up to date with the score on that thing. If you can, we'll keep up some of it. The boat, your brother, your co-host. I like your new co-host that you have there, too. He's awesome.
The burning bush.
The burning bush? Who's that?
It's Rob, the Murph.
The Murph. I see the Murph. The Murph's in the chat as well. TJ Mars in the chat. Love all you guys, man. I miss you guys. You guys should check out the Two Mics live show until it's abruptly ended. But what are we gonna do? So Jarl, let's get to this, bro. You listen to my monologue. Government shutdown. What's your take on my stance on all this? That it's both sides. Tell me where I'm wrong.
I think it's both sides, but like the biggest thing that I don't agree with is why you would even try and stop it for illegal immigrants and their health care. If that's their biggest thing that they wanted in there, they're obviously not paying attention to what anybody wants. And like, they're just going to lose their base. They're just going to continue to lose their base, because I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay for their free health care. I don't really give a shit about their health care. And it's like, it's just like these guys that, go out and protest and wave like Mexican flags and stuff like that. It's like, no, dude, if it was so good there and you loved it so much, go back. Like, you came over here to start a whole new life. So this whole paying for, illegals in their healthcare, no, no. If they go into a clinic and they're illegal, call ICE, send them back.
They swear that it's not about illegals' healthcare. That's what the left's saying. They swear it's not about the illegal healthcare. But I have a couple of these things on Jeffries. You ready? So this is Jeffrey on Illegals 1, and he is on, what is it? CNBC. I got to tell you, the show that I watched, they actually go at both sides pretty hard. And it's interesting. But this is Jeffries. I'm going to play 2 on him real quick. I know he's hard to listen to. God, I apologize now. If your ears start to bleed, please go get tampons. I heard that works very good. This is first
you
one.
Want to restore American taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants?
Of course not. And thank you for asking that question, because this is also an outright lie. Federal law prohibits the use of taxpayer dollars to provide medical coverage to undocumented individuals. That's the law. And there is nothing in anything that we have proposed that is trying to change that law. We are fighting for the health care of the American people, fighting to deal with the Republican health care crisis, which included the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. It includes the fact that Republicans have refused to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits time and time again.
So that's what he said there. And I'm going to play one more on you because she pushes back. So if you notice what he did there, he said that the Republicans aren't passing the ACA tax credit, but then, of course, it's against the law. It's already against the law. This is their argument. It's against the law. It's always been against the law. People are not getting money according to this ACA, and then they push on them. Listen to this.
It's about illegal immigrants getting these benefits. Go back to a term that's in your proposal that you've put forth that says legally present immigrants are eligible for all of these subsidies. And there's a big question about what lawfully present means. Does that refer to people who are here under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals programs? I guess there's different descriptions of what people see. What does that mean to you, a lawful preference? Would it refer to DACA?
We had a meeting with the President of the United States yesterday and made clear, we're not trying to change current law. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people. In rural America, in suburban America, in urban America, in small town America, in the heartland of America, in black.
All right, I had to cut him off early because he gets very, very, very annoying to listen to. But what did you hear right there, Yarrow? You heard nothing. No, he doesn't answer the question.
I'm looking at it right here. Like, you can go online, you can Google the bill. It's not even that long. How many? It's like 12 pages. It's not even, you know what I mean?
You could Google their response to it as well.
Right. Well, and the thing that's stupid about it is, right, we watch these shows, right, where they go back and forth and do it all, and you formulate your opinion off of that. You can go and read the damn bill. You can read the bill and form your own opinion. I mean, everything is written at an 8th grade level because it's federal government. Has to be written at an 8th grade level. That's across the board.
Yes. And one of the things that bothers me, I'm sure you've heard me say this before. This is why I love my man Patterson, because when he said, Mike, the way you guys are using the word illegal is wrong. And if you keep using it that way, you're not going to understand the arguments when they come at you. These people in these Democrats' minds are not illegal. And technically, by them allowing them in to wait for their hearing, they are not illegal until they get there, until they get their hearing. And even after that, they could technically not be illegal. And there's a lot of different ways. If they have an asylum claim, if they're here waiting for an asylum claim, they're not an illegal citizen. And they could, they are technically what they said, legally present immigrants. Legally, notice the word that's used, legally present immigrants. That means all the 29 million people that came in under open borders, Joe Biden, that are sitting on and went the amnesty route, and they're sitting on that backlog right now that's waiting through. Technically speaking, they are legally here because of how Joe Biden let them in. He said you could wait in America when Donald Trump had wait or remain in Mexico. That's really the problem with this entire thing.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is it's not just that cut and dry. When you actually look at the legalese and understand all the stuff and the legal jargon that's in it, yeah, there's probably some cases. Asylum seekers, that's probably a different case because you have to get here to claim asylum. If you illegally walk over the border and into the country or illegally swim across the border and into the country, even if you're waiting for your day in court, you got here illegally.
You're not here illegally, though. This is the problem. You're not illegal until you are deemed your court date. That's the problem with this law. This is the stuff that I go back, and especially if you come here and immediately give yourself up and you claim asylum. So under Biden, they didn't do that. The people were walking in and giving themselves up, and they were claiming asylum. And when you look at that U.S. Code 8-1325, it says you are entitled to a hearing. If you enter the country illegally, you are entitled to a hearing. And where you wait for that hearing dictates whether or not you're illegal or not. You have to be declared illegal by a court according to the law. That's the fucking problem. And then when you couple all the amnesty laws that go with it, they get so convoluted with walking over here, and they make it sound like if you come here illegal, you're illegal, period. And that's really not how it works out. And it's all about how the president can interpret these laws. They're not very well written when one person could say remain in Mexico and the other one says, no, remain in America, catch and release. And when they release them, they're not illegal until their court date determines they are. That's the fucked up part about this whole thing.
Like I said,
that's the workaround.
It's not entirely clear. But the thing is, like when you have terrorists bringing in, suicide vests and, missiles, bombs, things like that have already been confirmed. Are they waiting for their day in court before they blow us up? Or are they, how's that going to work out?
It's listen, that's the problem with our immigration laws. That's why I've been saying that U.S. Code 8-1325 that people want to hark on. Well, if you come here illegally, you're illegal. It's not that simple. That's why that's why the executive orders that came in and Trump just put all these in. While we're bitching about these CRs, it's been 9 months and not one of these things have been codified. They have not made it actually to where the border needs to stay closed by law, not by discretion, by law. Discretion is the problem. And when you get presidential discretion, you're going to get discretion left and right. And it's fucking crazy. And that's why I go crazy about this stuff, y'all. Like everyone, I remember the time, you tell me, you guys, you've been with this, you were with me for a really long time now doing these shows, like the 29th episode of the show that doesn't exist, right? You've been here a long time. How long have you been hearing me rail against Mike Johnson?
Mm-hmm. Since day one.
Since day one, I was calling him My Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said in your monologue.
I did say My Johnson. Everyone needs to remember, if everyone needs a reminder, this is Mike Caldery's April 3rd, 2025 on the show that never existed. Stop when we got Mike Johnson. I thought all this shit and getting rid of McCarthy and all this stuff was going to stop.
Well, we're weeding out the rhinos, and that's what I talked about when we talked about Matt Gaetz. Let me play something really quick before we get to Boone. I didn't know we were going to have.
Did you see my face right there?
Yeah. Let me ask you one question.
Fire away.
Okay. Did he kiss the wall?
Did who kiss the wall? Trump?
Did Mike Johnson kiss the wall?
Oh, the Israel wall?
Did he kiss the wall?
He had to have. He had to have gone. They all talk about loving Israel and going to Israel and all that stuff.
Enough said. Then he's bought and paid for, and who's paying for him?
Oh, 100%, dude. But so I wanted to remind everybody that I was against this stuff back then. I was very much against Matt Gaetz back then because I thought Matt Gaetz, what he was doing was stupid. We were going to get the exact same thing. We've gotten 6 right now, continuing resolutions. It's going into like. I'm going to play a little bit of this too. How about this? Ready? We have Mike Johnson. This is My Johnson in March of 2025. Tell me what you think. Tell me how. This is the thing that drives me crazy because I watch all these things and they sound exactly the same, but they're lying to us about what they're doing back then.
Bills, 99 pages. This clean CR contains no poison pill riders, no policy riders there at all. No cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security, 0. No cuts to veterans benefits, 0. In fact, as was noted, we plus up the accounts for veterans. And respectfully, I'm just going to say this to every reporter in the room, that if you're allowing Democrats to make these intentionally false, scurrilous claims without pushback, then you're aiding and abetting the spreading this misinformation. I would just ask you to call them on it. The American people deserve that. They deserve that clarity from our press corps. Make them point it out to you. They can't, of course. And now,
I don't know what happened to my camera. I'm here. There it is. There we are. There we go. Something's going on with StreamYard. But that was him back in March of 2025 talking about clean CRs. This is another clean CR. It's another clean CR. And it's the same garbage really that we've been getting over and over and over and over and over again. No?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think they keep repeating the same plays, and it's not necessarily within the same 4 years. Sometimes it goes for 4 years. Sometimes it goes for 8 years. I mean, it's the same playbook. They just keep trying to rewrite it, redo it all over again. And I was just going to say, if it doesn't get forced through the first time, it's just continuous.
So what you just said is another thing that drove me crazy, and everybody's sitting here wondering why I'm railing against Republicans, because I'm putting shows together for everybody and I'm listening to these people speak. This is Carolyn Leavitt. Ready? Listen to these words that she's saying to you guys, and some of you guys are buying it. I'm losing my shit listening to this.
Remarks and take some questions. First, I just want to share remarks of my own. Democrats in Congress have officially shut down the United States government. House Republicans passed a nonpartisan, clean piece of legislation to extend current government funding until November 21st. But nearly every single Democrat senator voted against this bill. To be clear, this was the exact same bill that Democrats approved 6 short months ago in March, just adjusted for inflation. This is the same kind of clean funding bill that Democrats passed 13 separate times when they held the majority during Joe Biden's administration. So the American people woke up this morning and asked the obvious question: why is the government shut down right now? The answer is pure partisan politics being played by the Democrat Party.
Something's going on StreamYard today, but I mean, you hear that stuff, right?
Clean bill.
No, but what you hear? This is the same bill that they passed for 16 different times. It's the same continuing resolution. It's the same garbage over and over and over and over and over again. And these are the things that when I listen to this stuff, it's making me go out of my mind. I'm going to try to unplug my camera and plug it back in. I'm going to play one more. I'm going to play one more on Jeffries, because Jeffries got pushed on this. Oh, I don't know what the hell's going on with my camera. I think it has something to do with StreamYard. Maybe let me try doing this.
Yeah.
I'll go back. Let's see if I can just mess with it a little bit. This is Jeffries he gets pushed on the wordage. Did I already play this one? Yeah, I think I already played that one.
Now they're all jacked up.
I'm all jacked up with this, with my camera going off. It's definitely messing me up. But this is my Johnson back then. Oh, sorry, that's what I wanted to play. I wanted to play my Johnson in March. This was my Johnson in March getting the second question asked for him. And this was, I thought you were brought in to stop these CRs, and when you got in, this is now your 6th. What's going to happen next? Listen to what he says, and like I said, this is why I'm attacking these guys hard, because they have been lying to us and bullshitting me for far too long.
The last CR, sir, will you support a CR?
Well, this is what I expect, is that this White House is going to actually do its job. What a concept! This White House is going to send us a budget that hasn't been done in a while. This White House is going to send us a budget that's going to request funding for a smaller, leaner, more efficient, effective, accountable federal government. That is a new paradigm for us, and we're excited about that. That's what we'll be working on as soon as we get FY26 off the table. FY25, we turn to FY26, and that's when we have all the cuts and the savings that will be actualized at that point. There's a process, as I've explained in here. You have to qualify those savings, you got to quantify them, and then you codify them. Well, the codification process comes for FY26. You're going to see the administration and the Congress working in tandem to provide and present a better government for the people. And that is something many of us ran for Congress to do. That day is now upon us, and we're excited about it.
I don't know. Once again, so I watch all this stuff, Jarl. Do you see us that we have a better government for the people right now?
No, but
right.
but I do have to bring something up, okay? Because I still have this bill up right here, okay?
Okay.
And I'm in Department of Defense spending, okay? The only part of the Department of Defense was a classy little lady from the Department of the Navy, the Marine Corps, that actually had a balanced budget, that balanced and accounted for every single thing, every bullet, every bean, every Band-Aid. We're a bunch of crayon eaters. And if we can balance a fucking budget, being the branch, the attack branch that they are, why can't the rest of the government? These are guys that are going to war, that are causing hate and discontent. If they can account for everything and balance their budget and be the only ones with a budget that's accounted for, why can't all these other departments do it? Why isn't the Department of the Army doing it? They failed terribly. Department of Agriculture that's on here, they failed terribly. Why is it so hard to balance the budget? That's what I don't understand.
It's so hard because they never have to do it, and we don't ever hold them accountable for it. Jarl, like, just think about this concept, dude. You have a situation where we have another continuing resolution where the guy that was just there telling you we're not going to have another CR, we have another CR, and he was sitting there making the promise that we have a White House now that's going to do all this, and it's going to actually send us a budget. And back then he was saying, oh, no, we have to let Doge do its thing. And once we learn everything that we're going to learn from Doge, we're going to take all that. And then we're going to be ready for September when this is going to be brought up again. And lo and behold, they're asking for another 7 weeks. And this is why I don't get caught up in the he said, she said, point your finger, blame game, because these guys had a long time to produce a budget for right now, and they have failed to do it. And if every time, like you said, you're a crayon eater. If you were 7 weeks late on every project that you ever done, are you going to maintain your job?
Not a chance. Not a chance. And that's what I'm saying is, like, for the most part, these budget numbers from year to year do not change. So when these budgets come back out, it might go up a little bit, it might go down a little bit, but for the most part, you still have the same amount of money going in and coming out that you need to account for. And if you're not accounting for all the pennies and all the bullets, bombs, and whatever, or when it comes to agriculture, if you're not, accounting for everything, Medicare, there's no accountability at all. Why does that get to continue throughout all of these sections? And, and you might be able to explain this to me. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm just dumb. Okay. I'm going to throw that out there. If you end up saving money, okay, why does all the money have to be spent by the end of the fiscal year? If you're one of these sections, we'll just call them sections for now, that are receiving money, and you save money, why is that money just not carried into the next as a surplus for you to go, add extra shit to whatever you're doing, whether you're farming or, creating war or helping people with, Medicare, Medicaid? Why doesn't it roll over? Am I dumb? Do I not? Can you explain that to me?
I can't explain it to you. And I see it in my local politics as well. It's like the police were bragging about saving $2 million over 2 years, or what was it, $1.8 million, something like that, over 2 years. But when I asked, they were asking for another 5% increase for this budget, which was a couple $1 million. It's like, but wait a second, they saved $2 million. Where'd that money go? Oh, well, it was spent on other things. Well, why the hell was it spent on other things when you could have just not raised their budget and gave them that $2 billion as surplus? But you know how it is, right? You have an incentive to spend every penny in government, because if you don't spend every penny, you're going to lose money, right? So if you're saving money and you're efficient and you're doing your job well, they're gonna cut your funding because you don't need it. But if you're doing your job like shit and you have all this money and you're spending every penny, that they think that you're going to need more. And that's how that works. It's the automatic increased budgeting, right?
Is that not like a fundamental just wrong? I mean, okay, they saved $1.8 million, right? And then they said they were going to need a budget increase. So if they saved that $1.8 million, then that could just go back into their books, right? For raises. And, you know, I'm not an economist by any means, but that just makes sense to me. Why couldn't that go there?
It's not government though, right? Because our government has no accountability to your money. They have none.
We have to spend all the money too. Work for a government agency. Like, I might not get paid next week. I don't know. You know, at this point, not really worried about it. We'll figure it out when we get there.
And you'll get your back pay, right? Like, they'll pay you, but it's just you have to wait for it. You have to work and know you're not getting paid when you're due. That's absolute ass to me. And that's another thing. Like, you have a lot of government employees that are going to be wrapped up into their incompetence, and I'm tired of watching it, man. But let's do this. I'll tell you something. Let's shift gears a little bit, because we have Hegseth, and this is really why I wanted you on this show, man. Because you know, I heard a little bit of outrage over this Hegseth stuff, and then I listened to his speech to these generals. And, you know, for a guy that they said had no experience and was going to be terrible at this job and all this stuff, I got to tell you, I'm very, very impressed with him. What's your take on this? Do you want to listen to a couple minutes of him real quick? And then
hell
and then
yeah.
go off on it?
Yeah,
all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department, to rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit. I've made it my mission to uproot the obvious distractions that made us less capable and less lethal. That said, the War Department requires the next step. Underneath the woke garbage is a deeper problem, and a more important problem that we are fixing, and fixing fast. Common sense is back at the White House. So making the necessary changes is actually pretty straightforward. President Trump expects it. And the litmus test for these changes is pretty simple. Would I want my eldest son, who is 15 years old, eventually joining the types of formations that we are currently wielding? If in any way the answer to that is no, or even yes, but, then we're doing something wrong. Because my son is no more important than any other American citizen who dons the cloth of our nation. He is no more important than your son. All precious souls made in the image and likeness of God. Every parent deserves to know that their son or their daughter that joins our ranks is entering exactly the kind of unit that the Secretary of War would want his son to join. Think of it as the golden rule test. Jesus said, do unto others that which you would have done unto yourself.
So the golden rule test, Jarl.
Show me on this doll where Pistol Pete's words hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, is there anything that you can really disagree with? You know, I got out in 2010 before the majority of all this bullshit started. If I would have stayed in, I never would have lasted. I would have been one of the only legal chiefs to get kicked out for being an asshole. I entirely agree with everything that he said. Even down to the FAFO comment. And it's good to see somebody that's going up there, a leader that's going up there. And this guy, I said it on our show last night, this guy got out as a major. And now he's telling all these generals, get your asses back here. We're going to have a talk. And I guarantee you that stuck in their craw because he got out as a major and then was a Fox News contributor or whatever, forever. And now he's like, get your asses back here. We're going to have a talk. And then he's telling them all your guys' bullshit is out the window. We're not doing this bullshit anymore. Our focus is on war, winning wars, and training the young Americans that are fighting the wars to be badasses again. No little stress cards, none of this bullshit. He's wanting to train war fighters to fight wars. And
that's what you do, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what you do.
So let me can you do me a favor? Can you tell me about war just a little bit? Because the way they portray it is it's a bunch of guys walking around in dresses, hugging each other, fingering each other's assholes, laying on pillows, and really throwing clouds at each other. Is that what war is?
Well, that's what the Taliban does. It's like Man Love Monday. But no, I mean, we don't. But that's the thing is like, war doesn't give a fuck who you are. The guy in the dress that's shooting at you that just had a finger in his ass, he doesn't fucking care. He's going to kill you. And I'm sorry, but, even when, I was in my war fighting shape, there's no chance that a female is going to drag me, in most cases, off the battlefield without being able to pass the same standards, the same standardized tests with all the shit on you. Like, even, in battle form, I'm 186. And plus, you have 150 pounds of shit on you. There's no way. There's no way. So I agree with him when he said later on that it's going to be standardized tests. If you can pass it, go. Have fun. Do what you want to do.
I'll play that right now, but he said something too that I don't think is on this, that he said my rucksack doesn't care who's carrying it. It's the same exact weight, so you better be able to carry it. These are physically demanding jobs. And he said to get back, but let's let him.
The era of politically correct, overly sensitive, don't hurt anyone's feelings leadership ends right now. At every level, either you can meet the standard, either you can do the job, either you are disciplined, fit, and trained, or you are out. And that's why today, at my direction, and this is the first of 10 Department of War directives that are arriving at your commands as we speak and in your inbox. Today, at my direction, each service will ensure that every requirement for every combat MOS, for every designated combat arms position, returns to the highest male standard only. Because this job is life or death. Standards must be met. And not just met, at every level we should seek to exceed the standard, to push the envelope, to compete. It's common sense. And core to who we are and what we do, it should be in our DNA. Today, at my direction, we are also adding a combat field test for combat arms units that must be executable in any environment at any time and with combat equipment. These tests, they'll look familiar. They'll resemble the Army Expert Physical Fitness Assessment or the Marine Corps Combat Fitness Test. I'm also directing that warfighters in combat jobs execute their service fitness test at a gender-neutral, age-normed male standard scored above 70%. It all starts with physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force.
Every member, including the generals and admirals, are going to be subjected to this physical fitness test.
Good.
I would love your thoughts on it.
Good. It stops, at least in the Marine Corps. There was very few generals that I met, and I drove a lot of generals. I did protocol driving, did all kinds of dumb shit like that. There was maybe a handful of generals that I met, it's like I didn't meet them all, that could go in there and tear shit up. And one of the guys that I used to drive was 2 commandants ago. He was a commandant of the Marine Corps, highest rank in the Marine Corps. That dude was a badass. But generally, when they start hitting that brigadier general status, it all goes out the window. It's all sitting in meetings and, bureaucratic bullshit. And if you look, when they turn the camera on those generals, you can tell exactly who sucked in and who got really, really fucking uncomfortable. And I think that's a thing, because you should be leading your men from the front. You shouldn't be just sitting in the talk, not wanting to have anything to do with it. When we started as a country, when we were going to war, the generals were leading from the front. They weren't sitting back in the rear the whole damn time. And I think it's come down to they can't anymore. And if you're too old to pass those fitness tests, then you need to go. You need to go. Just flat
as a
ass.
general, right?
Even as a general. Even as a general. And the thing is there's no reason why they can't become an advisor on war.
Yeah.
Be an advisor. Get the fuck out of the way for somebody else that has the motivation and that wants to move forward with their career, because it gets to a point where it's a logjam. And, what was it, a couple weeks ago, they said there's too many generals. We're over the top with generals and high brass. Well, it's because these guys don't retire. They're not getting pushed out, and people can't move up until they leave. So those guys that are hard charging, that want to run into the battle, that want to do things the right way, they can't move up and they get discouraged. And those are the guys that end up getting out. So these old fucks that don't have it anymore, they might have the knowledge, but they don't have it anymore physically, or the ability to do it anymore. They need to go. Like, you shouldn't be in your 60s and late 50s, and if you can't do the physical stuff, you should be gone.
You should be gone.
There's generals that are in their late 60s, early 70s. Get them the fuck out of there. Use their knowledge base.
I agree with you.
Make them advisors.
Be an advisor. Be an advisor. Set policy. Sit on a board somewhere, and that's it. But the bottom line is, if you're a fighting force, you have to be a fighting force. And I love the fact that he went after beards. He went after appearance. He went after fat people.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, did you hear him? It was like, It's like you, but the way he phrased it was awesome. It's, if my son was in this combat unit, I wouldn't want him surrounded by fat soldiers.
No.
Right? Didn't he remind you of the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket?
Full Metal Jacket?
Because you are a disgusting fat body, Private Pyle.
Oh yeah. I met that guy. He's a bad. Yeah, I met him. He was our guest of honor at the Marine Corps Ball in 2007, and he's a total badass. He is that guy entirely. He even apologized for kissing Jack Black in that Saving Silverman movie. It was hilarious.
It's funny, man. That guy. The story of him was awesome. That they brought him in as an advisor and just started yelling at everybody. And they're like, "All right, listen, you're gone. We gotta just hire him. That's exactly what we need." Sorry, I've been neglected to chat a little bit. Let me hit this really quick. Oh, no. Boone brought in Williams. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's going on here? Judge strikes out with a runner on second. Let's see. I think he said, what was it, 4-3?
4-3
wow.
Yankees right now, top of 9.
4-3 Yankees. Jazz, right? Jazz and somebody else came through.
Yeah.
I like that. When's Trump going to start firing workers? I don't know. That's going to be very interesting. Yankee 68, our government is Groundhog's Day. That I fully fucking agree with 100%.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Jay Callis said, not hard when you want to, when you are stealing so much money and you cannot have a balanced budget. Yep, definitely agree with that. Oh yeah, Chaz and Wells comes through. 4-3 Yanks. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
let's fucking go. PT Pod just put out his link. Make sure you hit his link, but right as we finish up, the boat says, that's what's so shady about those fucks. No more dudes in dresses. And he fucking loves Pete. Listen, there's a couple people that are doing, I think, subpar jobs. If you ask me, Bongino and Kash Patel, and listen, I've been told this from a very, very a good source that I trust very much so. He says in the FBI, they're a joke. That's the truth. So that's his opinion, but I'm just going to let you know that, and I trust this dude. When you look at Pete, you don't hear the same things, you know. Tell me something though. Why don't generals and why don't they clap for like the guy for the Secretary of War and the president when they speak? Why do they just kind of stand up? Why do they not? Are they just saluting? It's supposed to be quiet.
Yeah, it's just the rules and regulations of it,
Okay.
especially when, you know, the superior's talking and everything. You know, they did let out a chuckle, you know, when Trump came up because he made him stand up and, you know, told some jokes and loosened him up a little bit. But yeah, when somebody's up there and he was very much talking at you, he was using everything but a knife hand. And I'm just saying, dude, if that would have came out, you'd have known that people were doing PT right there. Everybody was hitting the pull-up bar before they could leave.
But what you notice? Did you notice something about Pete though? This is what I was really impressed with. He got behind the podium to start this off with, right? And he didn't read it. He had a teleprompter and everything there, but he didn't stand there and read it and use a teleprompter. He got out in front. He was walking around and he ripped this from the dome, right? So that means you know what you have an idea what you're talking about. You're a part of the process. You're well in depth with what message you're trying to portray and what you're trying to put forward. If you ask me, that delivery to those generals right there show that he's in control of that department. As far as what's being implemented policy wise.
Yeah, that's the kind of leader you want. If you can have a leader like that that can move and walk and talk and deliver a very, very on point message like that, you know that you have somebody that knows what's going on. You know, and I've met those guys. I've worked for those guys. And there's some people that can just nail it. And they know exactly what they want to say. And you know what? The thing is he might have had half a speech written. He might not have had any of it written. But he knew exactly where he was going with it and the points that he wanted to make.
So one of the points that he made, and one of the last things we'll talk about, and that's one of the things I wanted. This is the main reason why I wanted you on, because I know you have an awesome perspective on this stuff. One of the things that he was pushing with everybody is a risk-taking mentality, right? And he actually even brought up hazing to a point and said that he was going to be cool with. He didn't say it in these words, but the impression I got was certain type of hazing and certain type of rituals and certain type of harsh treatment is not going to be penalized right now. It seemed like they were going to let the superiors be superiors, make mistakes. They wanted them to be risk takers. They wanted to be on cutting edge. They didn't want them to be on eggshells, worrying about losing their jobs. One of the things he said was that lackadaisical, just get by culture that the generals and the upper management had. He wanted to get rid of all of that. But that type of, he wanted that gone. Do you think that's going to lead to positive things or negative things? Because we all know when you start letting some of the wrong people take too many liberties with freedoms, that's why the rules got put in place and you put there in the first place, right?
It's not even about that.
Okay.
What it's about, and I have a perfect example of this, okay? And in the Marine Corps, when you become an NCO, non-commissioned officer, you get your blood stripe. Your blood stripe is that tasty little red stripe that goes down those blue pants in your dress blues. Okay? When you become an NCO, or just when you rank up at all in the Marine Corps, you get your rank on your lapels. And it used to be you just got that shit pounded in. You couldn't put the backs on. You got that shit pounded in, and you were dumb if you pulled it out of your skin. If you weren't bleeding by the time you got done, you didn't have any good friends. Like you know what I mean? And as an NCO, when I got my blood stripe, you know, I had those fucking things pounded into my chest so hard. Like my skivvy shirt was bloody. And, you know, you bring up the hazing. Okay. That's part of the hazing. And generally, when an NCO that everybody loved and respected, you know, made it, you got these shit kicked out of you. There was knees to your knees or into your thighs, just giving you your blood stripes. Like some guys would show up to work barely able to walk the next day, but they were happy as hell because their boys got them. I thought I escaped it. My asshole roommate let everybody into our room. So I came home from work and just got it. I got it vicious. And my ass is one of those guys. Showed up the next day, barely able to walk, but it was a good time. It was a rite of passage. It was an initiation thing. That's the type of shit he's talking about. Those traditions fell by the wayside because people were getting punished for hazing and for shit like that. And does it go too far sometimes? Yeah, probably. But that's at the command's discretion.
Getting rid of the rest.
That's at the command's discretion.
Yeah.
If something gets out of hand, hey, boys, have fun. Don't fuck each other up so you can't go fight a war tomorrow. You know, that type of shit. But like those are like the customs, the traditions, the rites of passage. And, you know, the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, you know, I don't know what the fuck the Air Force does. Maybe they get a new office chair. I don't know what the fuck they do. But those are the types of things that he's talking about at the command's discretion. That's perfect. Somebody fucks up, takes it too far, they're going to stand 6 inches and centered in front of the man's desk. And they're either going to get it or they're not.
Yeah, dude, it's like building a football team, bro. You have to have a culture. There has to be the winning mindset, right? And to me, what he's putting forth is an absolute winner's mindset. Last thoughts on that, and then we have 2 things that made me laugh.
No, I think it's great. I'm all for it. I think those traditions especially need to come back because it brings these guys together. Nothing brings somebody together like being in a unit that's tight-knit like that sticks up for each other. They can go to war together. And, you know, the ones that make it back, if everybody doesn't make it back, they're that much tighter because they went through all that shit together. And getting that small unit leadership and that command discretion and things like that back is what's going to create that strong ties to each other because and a lot of times you're not fighting for your country all the time. You're fighting for the guy to the left and to the right of you. So
that's it.
You know what I mean? Because they're not shooting at the country at that point. They're shooting at you. They're shooting at your boys. Bringing that camaraderie back and letting them know, hey, boys, you can be rough and tumble and foaming at the fucking mouth because you guys are just twisted still and sex appeal. Go fight the fucking war.
Yeah,
I love that.
Absolutely love it. I have 2 things, man, and I got to tell you, one of the things that are very entertaining about Trump's feed, and I've never seen shit like this in my life, but the amount of trolling that Trump is doing with Schumer and especially Hakeem Jeffries. Have you seen these, man?
Oh, so do I need to get my hat?
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to play this. This is 30 seconds. You definitely need to get your hat.
Guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
That's from the official White House fucking page, man. I think the White House came out with this stuff.
I fucking love it. I mean, ICE is using "Gotta Catch 'Em All" from Pokemon. You know, have you seen that one? That one's absolutely hilarious too. They used a little theme song from Pokemon and like some of the little shit that they had in the entry music and everything for it. And then they put a picture of or videos of ICE kicking in doors and flashbanging shit like that. And it's just singing "Gotta Catch 'Em All" the whole time. It's the best shit ever. Like there needs to be a department of troll.
There is.
You know what I mean?
There is right now. Dude, because they came out with this one.
Disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
Dude, I dig the mustache. I'm going to have to curl mine up, dude, and get a little bit more mariachi in me.
Oh my God, dude. And I have here it is ready. So they asked JD Vance on the sombreros, and his response fucking just cracks me up. I like JD Vance more and more, even though I question where he came from. I like this guy.
With these leaders, but what message does that send? Is it helpful? Just
post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero if you're trying to have good faith talks with him?
Oh, I think it's funny. The president's joking, and we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith while also poking a little bit of fun at some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even, poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop. And I've talked to the President of the United States about that. Now, to your first question, are we negotiating one-on-one? Are we negotiating?
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. You know why he did it?
Why?
Did you see the selfie that he posted leaning up against a park bench, and he tried to Photoshop his hips smaller, and the whole back of the bench is wavy because he didn't fix the back of the bench. So he was trying to like cut his hips in. That's another one that's fucking hilarious because this guy's over there Photoshopping his own pictures before he puts them on social media, trying to cut the hips in. Maybe he should go do a PT test with Hegseth. I'm almost mad his mustache is better than mine.
No, it's his mustache. You should strive for that mustache, bro. That would fit your whole perfect.
That's what I can't line up enough to get. I just don't have it at the ends like he does. I got to work on it.
Oh man, that is awesome. So, dude, tell everybody that. I mean, we are actually running. We're running late. Hold on, ready? We had this really quick. This is the last thing I want to get to. There was a news of a shooter right in where I was at, Lakehurst, New Jersey. All my friends of mine were talking about it. And apparently a civilian worker at the Joint Base faked an active shooter alert to trauma bond with co-workers. Officials say the hoax triggered a lockdown before being deemed false. I'm on a group thread with some of my cornhole buddies, and they were saying, "Yo, man, there's an active shooter where I'm working and shit." It was very interesting to watch. But that was it. So Jarl,
trauma bond.
Yeah,
that's
trauma
like
bond.
That's like getting a fear boner. That's like getting a fear boner. That's what that is. That's all that is.
I've never heard of a fear boner. Is that when you get in war where bullets are ripping past you?
It's
you hard, bro. You're like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, it's not even weird when you hug it out, after you've had a fear boner.
Oh, interesting. So you're hugging men with a fear boner. Okay, get it.
Sometimes you just got to hug it out, bro.
Dude, sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you get a fear boner.
So that's it. So Jarl, man, tell everybody where they can find you.
Check us out, Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. The channel's getting renamed pretty soon here. So we'll be kind of traveling under a different name. Same time, same bad place. Different name. But yeah, you can find us over there. Look up Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys, and we're doing the show.
Fuck yeah, dude. Love it. You and the boat's in there. He says, fear boner with your buddies. Haha, we're having a good time, laughing his ass off. Jay Caldy, the Yankees win.
The Yankees pulled it out.
Fuck yeah. He says, great show. Good night, guys. Great show. Yankees pulled it out. They live to play another day. No thanks to Aaron Judge. They live to play another day. Thank you guys very much for joining me. You could be a cow drop in your own mind if you take that finger and finger blast my like button. It loves it. It fucking loves it. And if you take the show, share the show on whatever platforms you have. Tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about all of our friend shows, Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys, and whatever future name it's going to be. I have an idea what they're doing, and I really can't wait for that. And make sure that you check out right now. Click on my man's link before you get out of here. Give my man Mike some love on PT Pod. I think he's doing a watch party tonight. But if you haven't checked it out, watch yesterday's show before their show, that ESPN The Ocho show with me, Patterson, Mike, and his other co-host Mike. It's a wonky foursome that is fucking hysterical. And watching these ridiculous sports that somehow generate an audience is fucking hysterical. It really is a really good time. So Jarl, bro, I really appreciate you being here. And pretty soon I got to send you the transcript, because the beginning of my intro has been your voice the entire time. It's been written.
Send me the words, man.
I know. I gotta send them to you, but I'm a lazy fucker. I'm not really lazy. I'm doing a lot.
A little busy.
Yeah, but when I want to lay down, it's done. I'm laying the hell down. So thank you, y'all. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. Remember, once again, I tell you this all the time. Be your own fucking caltrop. Stop being a parrot. Stop defending these idiot sides. Stop defending the politicians. Stop defending their actions from 3 years ago that are biting them in the ass now. Stop putting the blame on other people and start putting the blame on all of them. It's their problem. It's their fault. It's their mistake that's been followed up by 50 prior mistakes. You could be a caltrop when you break yourself free of getting caught up in that game that they want you to play. And don't worry about it. I will be the caltrop for you guys to give you, hopefully, the perspective that I see it from a spot where I don't have a team. I'm tired of these fucking teams. They're a pain in the ass. Thank you very much, guys. This caltrop is out. Later.